Imagine you're at a casual dinner, the kind where everyone seems effortlessly accomplished. One person casually mentions they've been maxing out their retirement account for over a decade. Another talks about the rental property they snagged last year. A third brags about their brokerage account hitting a milestone you didn't even know existed. You sit there quietly, doing mental gymnastics, trying to remember if you even have a retirement account, and whether the $8,000 sitting in it actually counts for anything. You smile politely, nod along, mutter something like, "That's impressive," and reach for your drink, but inside your stomach has dropped and hasn't come back up. Later that night, lying awake, staring at the ceiling, you replay the conversation over and over, wondering how everyone else figured out money while you somehow slept through that particular life lesson. The questions start spiraling. Should I have bought a house 5 years ago? Why didn't anyone teach me about investing in my 20s? Is it too late? Will I be working until 75? Here's a truth nobody at that table will tell you. Half of them are exaggerating or hiding struggles. The person with the rental property may have it empty for months, bleeding cash. The 401k superstar might be carrying tens of thousands in hidden credit card debt. And the other half, they're just as anxious as you, but they've learned to fake confidence because that's what adulthood seems to demand. That nervous knot in your stomach exists because society handed you a success checklist without telling you it was written for a very different world, a world where houses cost $89,000, a single income supported a family of 4, and the economy moved slower than it does today. The benchmarks you're comparing yourself against are outdated and designed for a world that no longer exists. Yet somehow we internalize them and feel like failures when we hit 40 without hitting those invisible milestones. Today, I'm going to challenge that. I'll show you what realistic financial benchmarks for age 40. Some of the numbers may comfort you, others might shock you. But most importantly, I'll give you a clear roadmap to catch up, even if you're starting from scratch. And here's the kicker. People who start late often outperform those who started early but coasted. There's a reason for this, which I'll explain midway through the video, something called contribution intensity. Once you grasp it, you'll see that your 40s could be the most powerful decade for building wealth in your entire life. Let's start with conventional wisdom. Financial advisors often say by 40, you should have 3 times your annual income. Earn $80,000 a year, and that's $240,000 in retirement accounts. Sounds reasonable, but the reality is stark. According to the Federal Reserve's latest data, the median savings for Americans aged 35 to 44 is roughly $45,000. Half of Americans in that range have less than $45,000, barely 3 months of income for most people. If you're sitting at $30,000, $60,000, or even $100,000, you're ahead of many peers. Those benchmarks that make you feel behind, they were created by institutions that profit from your anxiety. They want you to feel behind so you'll buy products, hire advisors, and pay fees. But being average isn't the goal. Average in America means barely surviving in retirement, working until 67 and hoping Social Security holds up. The goal is genuine financial security, which is very different from keeping appearances. So what does a realistic 40-year benchmark look like today? First, retirement savings. Aim for 1.5 to 2 times your annual salary. Earning $70,000 means targeting $105,000 to $140,000 in retirement accounts. At 40, $120,000 invested, even without contributing another dime, could grow to about $780,000 by 65 at an 8% average return. Not wealthy, but solid. Contribute consistently in your 40s and 50s, and you're on track for real comfort. Second, emergency savings. 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in an accessible, high-yield account. Essentials mean rent or mortgage, utilities, food, insurance, transportation. For most households, that's $12,000 to $25,000, instantly available. Your emergency fund isn't a vacation or car fund. It's insurance against real-life shocks, job loss, medical emergencies, home repairs. Fourth, debt. By 40, eliminate all high-interest debt. Credit cards, personal loans, financing plans should be gone. Your only debt should ideally be a mortgage and maybe a modest car loan under 6% interest. If you're still carrying high-interest credit card balances, that's a critical warning. Credit card interest compounds against you, just like investments compound for you, but in reverse.
Fourth, income. By 40, your salary should reflect a meaningful increase from your 30s. Peak earning years typically come later, but by 40, you should be at least 30% higher than you were at 30, adjusted for inflation. Why? Income is the engine of wealth building. Saving 20% of $50,000 yields $10,000 a year. Saving 20% of $100,000 yields $20,000. Over decades, that difference compounds massively. What if you're behind? Panic is natural, but here's the truth. Catching up in your 40s can actually be easier than starting in your 20s. First, earning power is higher. A 25-year-old might invest $300 per month. A 40-year-old could invest $1,500 to $2,000. Second, expenses often stabilize. Student loans may be gone, career essentials set. You're past the phase of constantly furnishing apartments. Third, experience counts. You understand market cycles, volatility, and the emotional discipline investing requires. Let me give an example. Marcus hit 40 with $22,000 in retirement accounts, $8,000 in credit card debt, a car loan, and an $85,000 salary. His 30s were a blur of lifestyle inflation, slightly nicer apartments, better restaurants, more expensive hobbies. By 40, he felt stuck. Over the next 7 years, he executed a catch-up strategy. Phase 1, stop the bleeding. Audit expenses, cancel unused subscriptions, refinance high-interest loans, freeing $500 a month. Phase 2, eliminate debt with a debt avalanche, paying off credit cards first. Phase 3, build an emergency fund to 4 months of essentials. Phase 4, maximize retirement contributions, capturing employer match, gradually increasing contributions. Phase 5, increase income through career growth, certifications, or promotions, investing the difference. By 49, Marcus had over $380,000 in retirement accounts, owned his car, only had a mortgage, and was on track for over $1.2 million by retirement. The lesson, starting late but aggressive often beats starting early but passive. Someone investing $200 per month from 25 to 65 may end with $700,000. Someone investing $1,500 per month from 40 to 65 may end with $1.3 million. Contribution intensity matters more than time. Avoid the psychological trap of financial paralysis. Take one action in the next 48 hours. Pay off high-interest debt, set up automated savings, or increase your retirement contribution. Momentum follows motion. Career health is equally critical. By 40, develop at least one specialized skill that commands premium pay. Build a network of people who could help you secure a job quickly. Diversify income streams modestly. Side business, rental income, dividends, consulting. Income diversification is risk insurance, not luxury. Avoid complacency traps. Regularly recalculate retirement needs. Bigger homes, nicer cars, expensive lifestyles raise your retirement floor. Monitor trajectory, not comparison. That dinner party? The 401k hero has $350,000, but $600,000 in mortgage debt. The rental owner is losing $400 per month due to costs and vacancies. The brokerage milestone? Inherited money, already partially spent. Comparing yourself to highlight reels is misleading. Trajectory matters. $50,000 saved at a 30% contribution rate will overtake $200,000 saved at 5% in under a decade. Velocity beats precision. At 40, your earning potential is near peak, your expenses manageable, your timeline long enough for compounding. Start aggressively now, and you can overtake those who started casually at 25. 10 years from now, you'll either look back at this moment as the turning point or feel the same anxiety at the next dinner party. Benchmarks are just numbers. What you do next is everything.